What's going on? What is on? It is Tuesday, March 31st, 2026, and we are here for a late morning, midday type of live. I told y'all that I was going to try to start doing a little bit more midday lives, especially now that I adjusted the upload schedule again for like the umpteenth time, but I think something that's workable for me. And shout out to everyone that is here so far in the chat. If you are new to the channel, I'm glad that you are here. Hit the bell twice to be notified whenever I upload a new video or go live, or simply join the Discord and you will be notified in there. So as you can see by the title, we will be talking about Rozonda Thomas, aka Chilli, 1/3 of the group from TLC, and the debacle she has found herself in this week. I'm also going to talk a little bit more after I get through her stuff about Nick Cannon and his antics as of recently, along with Amber Thorne. But that's gonna come after I go through all of Chilli's stuff. But before I get into all of that, let me acknowledge those who are here so far in the chat or those who came earlier. We got Mock 5M, Real Deal Money, Dimple Face, Sybil, Reparations Nation, Wallow J, Hurricane Nisi, DSM Sinister, Boilermaker, JM Von Doom, J Cage, Cosma Fury, J Hudge. J Hud. I said J Hudge. J Hud, Dark Titan. Who else do we have in here? Alexis, Dante, Tasha Nixon. She said those Democrats should need to leave Chilli alone. She is growing and can vote for whoever she wants to. This is bigger than, for me, this is bigger than Chilli voting for whoever she wants to. And that's why we're going to go into this, because it's more. That's why if you look at the thumbnail that I did for the video, it says stand on it. But we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it because I think it's, to me, it's more than people getting on her than whatever her political leanings may be. We also got Crew Reality. Oh, like I said, Cosmo, that's why I'm incorporating the Nick Cannon, Amber Thorne stuff in there too, with the comment you just left. Wait, KG, are you back? Is this a new channel? Oh, you know what? You know what it is? He probably signed. You know what? You probably came in through StreamYard. Maybe that's what it is. But hey, either way, I'm glad you're back in the chat, though. We've been missing you. Buzzercam, what's going on? Oh, okay. He said temporary. Okay. No, I call her Amber Thorne for a reason. You know how rose bushes have thorns on them, so my nickname for her is Amber Thorne. She's not, in my opinion, worthy of being called Rose, even though that is indeed her last name. Okay, so now that everyone is so far in the chat, we are about to get into it. So there's two things that's going on with okay, Tasha, so you get what I'm saying. Okay. So it's two things going on with Chilli right now. There's two, and it could not have happened at the worst time for her. Because in case y'all don't know, Chilli, TLC, In Vogue, and Salt and Pepper, three iconic groups from for Salt and Pepper, the late 80s, but In Vogue and TLC, the early 90s, are set to do this tour. And this could not have fell at a worse time for not only Chilli, but also for the women in that tour, because now it's probably going to affect ticket sales. As a matter of fact, I'm almost certain that it will. So basically what happened is Chilli, there was something that came out where two things. One, it said that Chilli had shared some misinformation about Michelle Obama. You know, there was this whole thing, and you know who from, for years, that was saying that Michelle Obama was a man. And we all know that that woman is not a man. If you hate her or love her, like her, loathe her, the woman is still an XX chromosome carrying human being. She gave birth to two daughters. So there was that. But the other one that people are really pissed off about was her donating to the Trump campaign, but then claiming that she thought that she was donating to veterans and people involved with human trafficking and stuff like that. But you know how the social media sleuths are. They end up pulling up those receipts, and it was like, hold on, Chilli, you're not going to sit up here and say that you thought this was an accident and that it was a mistake. And we got all of this. So we're going to go ahead now. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to listen to the video, or listen and look at the video that has been put out there by TMZ, in which Chilli is explaining her case. Again, if you haven't done so already, make sure y'all go ahead and hit the like button if you have not done so already. But let's read the caption. It says, TLC's Chilli claims she accidentally shared a negative post about former First Lady Michelle Obama on social media, and that any political donations she made were meant to help veterans. Jekyll, the way you said that, I'm gonna go ahead and add it because we're gonna be a little petty today. She thought she was slick like them baby hairs. But let's get into it.
Hey guys, I wanted to come on here to address a few things that's circulating on the internet that's very concerning to me. Let me say this first. I have the utmost respect and admiration for Michelle Obama, and I would never say or do anything that is disrespectful to her or to any woman. I would never do that. And I had no clue that this repost had happened until I started getting phone calls and text messages from everybody. And I immediately went to my page to see what was going on.
Okay, so let's stop right there. She shared something and she said she had no idea that this repost had happened. For those of y'all who don't know, and I don't know where she reposted this at, I don't know what social media app that she used to make this repost. I don't know if she did it on Twitter. I don't know if she did it on Instagram. But the thing is, at least on Twitter, there's two forms of repost you can do. One, you can do a regular repost, which just like it just shows up and it stays there on the page, but then it'll show up on your page and saying, oh, that you reposted this. Then you also have the quoted repost, which allows you to leave a caption above the original post. I typically use that one more often than anything because typically I might have an opinion on it. But one thing that both of them have in common is you have to push that button twice. You have to push the repost button 2 times in order for it to take effect. It's not one of those things where you might slip up with the hand or the finger and you hit it. It's not like when you like something. If you like something on Instagram or Twitter, if you hit the heart button, that's a one-time click and that's it. With a repost, you have to hit that thing twice. You have to hit that button 2 times in order for the repost feature to work. So her saying it like as if it's an accident, that's why many people are not taking this seriously. And one thing that y'all know is one of my biggest pet peeves is insulting my intelligence. I feel like a lot of people felt their intelligence was insulted when she said that.
Now, mind you, I'm not very computer savvy, so I'm looking for this repost button. And I see that all of these buttons are very, very close to each other. And clearly I was scrolling and my thumb hit the repost button.
Well, if you're not that tech savvy, maybe someone in your status, maybe you should have like a social media personnel. Because I know a lot of celebrities have that where they handle their social media stuff. If you're not tech savvy like you claim, then you need to have someone that you can have on the payroll and have them deal with and work with your social media. They will post things that they think are appropriate. They'll get consent from you of what to post and repost. They'll handle the things, anything dealing with social media, any social media account you have. Shoot, Chilli has a 20-something-year-old son. Ask him. Like I said, it's not making any sense.
Again, I had no clue that something like this happened until I got all the calls. But of course, I took that down and, I would never post anything like that. I would never do something like that. That is not my character. I have supported the Obamas. I gave to the campaign, both runs, voted twice for him, and supported the organization that Michelle had in the schools for exercise for the kids.
If you did all of that, then why would you repost something like that? See, like I said, she knows this tour is coming up. She knows that this tour is about to happen, and this move right here could affect not only her but all the other women. It would be one thing if, say, Chilli was a solo artist and this was just her, but her actions right here are going to affect other parties. And the thing is, it's not like, and I'm not saying this in a very mean-spirited way, but it's not like Salt and Pepper, In Vogue, and TLC are in their prime where they're getting all these venue offers to do concerts. And the lineup was pretty good. Like, that sounds like that would have been a badass concert, especially for those who grew up in that time and listened and consumed their music, like myself. But now this is going to leave a stain. Then you also got to wonder how the other women on the tour are going to feel about her. Not just the fans that we're going to pay to come see them, but also the other women she's working with. How does T-Boz feel about this? She's the closest to her. After all, TLC been around since 1992, over 30 years. So you got to really take all of that into consideration.
I would never do anything that's harmful or hateful to anybody. I'm just not wired like that. That's just not who I am. And when it comes to organizations that I have donated to, these are the things that support the veterans. I
Hang on to that part right there, y'all. Hang on to what she just said about donating to the veterans.
have always supported them, not just now, but for years. This is not something new. So I just wanted to let you guys know, this from me, that I would never do anything so disrespectful. And I would just never, I'm just not about hate or anything like that. If you look on my page and see my posts, it's all about love, faith, and connection. That's what I'm all about. And I've always been that way, and I will continue to be just that way. So I just want to thank you guys for, your love and your support, and just taking the time to listen to me right now. I really, really appreciate that. And I love you guys. Thank you.
All right, so there's that right there. I wanted to scroll down because it was something I came across that was very, very, very interesting to me. So, like I told you, the Twitter sleuths are on it. I want y'all to look at this right here. This is from fec.gov. And they typed in Rozonda Thomas. Now, Rozonda, that is a name that is uncommon. She's the only person I know with that name ever, whether it's just the first name or first and a last name. I don't know any other Rozondas but her. But look at this right here. Under contributor name, it says Thomas, Rozonda. And on the right, it says recipient, where she sent these donations to. Now, look at this right here. When read is put up here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Now, I looked up when read. Let me share this right quick so y'all can see what when read is. What is when read? This is basically a website that lets you know where you can find people in various states who are attached to the GOP. As you can see right here. See, it has president, national committee, state party, U.S. Senate, U.S. House, governor, state executive, state senator, state house, local, and other. That's when read. She donated to that 5 times. All right, let's come back here. The next one says the Trump National Committee, JFC Inc. The other one is Never Surrender Inc. She has that up there 3 times, in the Trump National Committee, 3 or 4 times. they said 17 filtered results, which means her name showed up on this thing 17 times. I don't know about you, but there's no way that this is a mistake. This is not an accident. All of these places that she donated to are attached to Trump in some capacity. And I also looked up, I don't think any of these have anything to do with any type of veterans. Because notice in the video, she said, I thought I was donating for the veterans. But nothing here is anything connected to anything related to the veterans. Now look at this right here. This is a screenshot from Byron Donald's Instagram account. It says the Trump effect 72 hours after winning the 2024 election, and he has a whole bunch of stuff right here. But look who liked it. Look who liked Byron Off-Code Donald's post, the same Byron Donald's that said foundational Black Americans didn't deserve reparations. That Byron Donald, the same Byron Donald who was kissing Trump's ass for a job and ended up losing to JD Vance. The same Byron Donald that was out there pimp walking like he had something. Look at that. Then they pulled up some other stuff of people that I guess that she was following. I mean, my goodness. Now, let me show y'all this. I went on to Google and I asked this question. Who did Chilli donate to? It says TLC singer Rozonda Chilli Thomas faced backlash after 2024 FEC records showed she donated nearly $900 to Trump-aligned PACs, including Win Red, Never Surrender Inc., and the Trump National Committee, JFC. Chilli denied being a MAGA supporter, stating she made a mistake by not reading the quote-unquote fine print and intended to support veterans and anti-trafficking causes. That's not a good look if you didn't read the fine print. And my thing is, how did you not know what the fine print was? Some of it was blatantly in your face. Donation recipient, we already went through all of them. It says records indicate 17 donations between April and November 2024 were directed to Republican-linked fundraising organizations, with roughly $800 going to Trump-associated groups and smaller amounts to Senator Ted Cruz and the National Republican Senatorial Committee. It says Chilli claims she believed her donations were going towards veterans and anti-human trafficking efforts, not the Trump campaign specifically, as reported on BET. And it says around the same time, she was criticized for accidentally reposting a debunked conspiracy theory about Michelle Obama, and she apologized for the post and reiterated her respect for the Obamas, as noted in the video on TMZ, which we just went over. That is insane. That is crazy. But like I said, Chilli, I have no issue with whoever you decide to align yourself with politically. Even if you, I don't care, like even if you're independent, which I am, have been for almost 4 years. Love it, because it allows me to sit back and critique both sides without a bias. But when you sit up there and you say what you said in that video and you insult people's intelligence the way that you did and didn't think people was not going to have nothing to say in return, that's not cool. And my thing is this: you should always research whoever you are sending your money to. You don't just blindly send anything. Notice it says she forgot, she didn't read the fine print. If there was any fine print to be read, You always, when you're donating to any type of cause, you have to make sure that you know what you're donating to. Now she's going to have to deal with this. Will this hurt her career? I don't think so, because it's going to be one of those things that's going to be here, blink, you miss it, and it's gone tomorrow. Keon just said, and that's how TSC went broke the first time, not reading the fine print. CT Jones says independent is an undercover conservative. If that's what you want to believe, because that's another thing that a lot of people think, that if you are a registered independent, then that somehow means you're a conservative. That's not what that means. But I mean, if that's how you feel. Now that we've gone over Chilli, let me segue, because like if y'all missed it, I said I was going to segue into Nick Cannon and Amber Rose. So let me go into this right here. So this is a clip right here from Nick Cannon's, it's his big drive show. Never heard of it. It says Nick Cannon talks to Amber Rose about their similar conservative views, agreeing with her that the Democratic Party doesn't care about Black people while the Republican Party does. So let's see what they talking about on here.
Part of the Republican Party.
That's right.
Well, first off, let me just say this before it goes any further. I'm mad that Nick Cannon had to dig up this thing after I thought we left her in 2024 to come back out here and give her some type of relevance. I'm mad at him on just that alone, because I thought we was done. I thought we left her 2 years ago. But let it continue.
Former Democrat, former liberal.
Yeah.
I was a liberal Democrat my whole life.
Is that because the bag has got so intense and so heavy that you had a whole nother, you up there with the elite now? Or?
Not even close. Not even close. Democrats don't care about Black people.
Okay.
And they don't.
Amber Rose, do you even know what you are? I swear this woman is a mixed bag of confusion. Isn't this the same woman that kept saying she wasn't Black, she was Cape Viridian or whatever that was? Now she's Black, or now she cares about the welfare of Black people?
People. They don't care about people of color, and the Republicans do, and that's the misconception.
And you know what? I agree with you 100%.
Thank you,
people
Nick.
don't know that the Democrats is the party of the KKK.
Yep.
We're going to get into that too. But notice too, Nick Cannon didn't ask Amber why or how the Republicans cared about Black people. All she had to say was that the Democrats didn't care about Black people and that the Republicans do. He never asked her why. And he's not going to ask her why. Although I wish he would have, because he would have had her stuck like Bethany Mandel was when asked about defining the real defining what woke was, the real definition of it.
People don't know that the Republicans are the party that freed the slaves.
Yep.
I mean, both of you and I have some conservative views. You just a little bit more outspoken about it than I am. And I don't subscribe to neither party. I rock with W.E.B. Du Bois when he said there's no such thing as two parties. It's just one evil party with two different names.
If you're going to quote that, then what the hell were you just talking about leading up to that? That completely null and voids what you just said up until this point. I guess Nick Cannon is done doing his tour. And y'all know what I mean when I say he's done doing his tour.
So
Yeah, I mean, look, I listen, I'm not married to any party.
right.
I voted for Donald Trump because we had two options and he was definitely by far the better option for us. And And as of now, I agree with a lot of things that he's doing.
Cleaning house.
Yeah.
He doing
But
what he said he was
guess
gonna
what? If there's a time where I don't agree, I'll say I don't agree.
Yeah.
We
got the Gulf of America now.
Period.
He charging, he's like the club. He charging a $5 million
Yeah, Cosmo, his apology tour.
bottle service fee to get into the country.
I know. Listen.
Okay, so there's that. Okay. So when I heard what Nick Cannon said, and I hear a lot of people say this as well, I said, let me go ahead and look this up. This bit of information here. I just simply went and asked this question. When did the KKK, when did the Klan get started? And who founded it? It said the Ku Klux Klan was founded in the aftermath of the American Civil War. When it started, it was established in 1865, which is a year I'm sure many of us in this chat are very familiar with, shortly after the end of the Civil War and the abolition of slavery. Who founded it? It was created by a group of 6 former Confederate soldiers in Pulaski, Tennessee. A lot of people think that the Klan got started in Indiana. No, it's just that Indiana had one of their biggest enclaves, but it actually got started in Tennessee via Pulaski. It said the most notable early leader was Nathan Bedford Forrest, a former Confederate general who became the Klan's first quote-unquote grand wizard and top leader. So what this is telling me is that the Klan was started by traitors. Let me say that again. The Klan was started by traitors, the same ones whose statues they like to helm up all the time. People who weren't be classified as being America first. Let's continue. It says the Klan originally began as a secret social club, but it quickly evolved into a violent organization. Its primary goal became resisting Reconstruction policies, suppressing the rights of newly free Black Americans, and maintaining white supremacy through intimidation, violence, and terrorism. An important note, the original KKK declined in the 1870s due to federal crackdowns, but later versions of the Klan reemerged in the 20th century with similar ideologies. You can thank people like D.W. Griffith in that trash Birth of a Nation movie. That gave them their second wave. Then I asked, what is its connection to the Democratic Party? It says the connection between the Klan and the Democratic Party is real historically, but often oversimplified or misused today. And it says, here's a clear factual breakdown. After the Civil War, the Klan emerged during Reconstruction in the South. Many early Klan members were white Southern conservatives who at the time largely identified with the Democratic Party. These Democrats opposed Reconstruction policies, federal enforcement of Black civil rights, the political rise of formerly enslaved people who mostly supported Republicans. So yes, many early Klan members were Democrats, but that reflects what the parties represented at that time and not today. The second Klan between the 1915 and 1940s, the Klan reemerged in the early 20th century and spread beyond the South. This version had influence in both major parties, including Democrats in the South, some Republicans in the Midwest and the West, and it wasn't strictly tied to one party, but it still thrived in regions dominated by segregationist Democrats. So now we're getting ready to get into that point where that pivot, that shift started to happen. I kind of talked about this on Ant CEO's live that he had the other day. The big shift, mid-20th century, this is where the context really matters. During the Civil Rights era, which was the 50s to the 60s, the National Democratic Party began supporting civil rights legislation. Key moments, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Some Southern Democrats, often called Dixiecrats, opposed those changes and began shifting toward the Republican Party. So one thing I want to point out is these parties, whether it's the Democrats or the Republicans, can only function the way that they are based on the mindset and the type of people that goes into those parties. If you was to flush out both parties today, like you just did a complete reset and started from scratch, many of them would not act in the vein that they're acting in right now. whatever came into that party is what that party became. At the end of the day, left wing, right wing, liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republican, two wings attached to the same buzzard. And one thing else they have in common is both parties became what they became because of white supremacy. The benign neglect that Democrats are doing right now is the same thing that the Republicans of that time were doing with black people. But see, the white people of that time, they didn't like the fact that they felt like they were being left out. So that's why they shifted and pivoted the way that they did. So we're in the flip side era of this. Y'all, if y'all have not done so, make sure y'all read that book, The Grift by Clay Kane. It literally breaks this down in that book, like literally line by line. Like everything that they're saying right here is in that book. And it goes even further. Over time, this led to a political realignment where the Democratic Party became more associated with civil rights, and many white Southern conservatives moved into the Republican Party. It says the bottom line is, yes, historically, early KKK members were often Democrats in the 1800s, but that reflects the political landscape of that era and not modern party ideologies. Today, the KKK is not formally tied to any major political party, and both parties publicly reject it, or so they say. So I wanted to point that out because a lot of people get that completely misconstrued. And even after this, it's people that's going to still be out there that's going to see this and they're still going to mess it up. One last thing I want to go over, and then, of course, I'll drop the link for anybody who wants to come up. This part right here was also in that big drive show that Nick Cannon has. Look at this right here. Amber Rose says white people should be able to say the N-word. Amber Rose made some bold statements during her appearance on an episode of Nick Cannon's Big Drive series. Rose claimed that white people should be able to say the N-word, claiming that this would lead to a potentially lower rate of violence. Cannon and Rose also discussed the Republican and Democratic parties somewhere in the video, which we already went over. It said that she recently made an appearance on an episode of Nick Cannon's Big Drive series where she made some bold claims. The television personality claimed the discussion that white people should be allowed to use the N-word, citing that this could potentially lead to a decrease in violence. Rose said white people should be able to say that word because when you really stop giving an F about stupid, dumb effing words, we'll stop killing each other. Yep. And this is why she's an airhead. You know how the question mark has that hook? Her head is literally the dot at the bottom of that hook. Rose continued in her explanation. You know, if somebody said the hard R and is pointing at you is very different than rap lyrics or just saying that's my N-word. She further added, we're all smart enough to know what's right and wrong. So why are we creating so much damage and meaning behind it? Notice that she is saying we in the form of, as black people, that we are the ones that should just get over it and just let white people do it and say whatever they want. People, you know what? People like Matt Walsh would love her. He would love her. And another part of the same video, Cannon and Rose, we're not going to go over that because we already went over that. And yeah, I don't need to read anything else because that was in the video. Y'all, we are living in some weird and strange times. That's all I got to say. Weird and strange times. But y'all already know what time it is. It is time for me to hear from y'all. And we got 234 in the chat. If you haven't done so already, please hit the like button. Of course, y'all know who's up here first. Walla, what's going on?
What's going on, Tori? What's going on, everybody in the chat? Free Kid Gravity. I repeat, Free Kid Gravity. That's cursive me, your boy Wallow J. As for Chilli, like you said earlier, her legacy is already, set in stone. So, like you said, 1 minute they're gonna talk about this, and then about 2 weeks they're gonna forget about it. So that's the thing of that. Now, Nick and Amber. These are two freaks right here. You know that, right, Torian?
Yeah.
Two freaky freaks. They probably, never mind, I'm not gonna go there today. It's too early for that. But anyway, Amber, watch your filthy mouth, bitch. Just watch your mouth, because somebody's gonna say something to her, and she's gonna get real pissed off. I see it coming, and then she's gonna try to run her ass back over here. We don't want you over here no more. You done. We don't want you. Just like Kanye didn't want your ass when he got with down Kim Kardashian. You still upset about that, but it is what it is. I'll land my plane there. Again, free kick, Gravity Beyond.
B1. It's funny when he said that about Amber Thorne, because people said they preferred Amber when she was mute, when she was just there and didn't say anything. Cosmo, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Torian? As for Chilli, I'm not surprised at all, for the simple fact the moment she started dating Joey Lawrence's the middle brother, we all saw that. We saw all the things she was posting, advocating. She's so happy, the divestiture vibes. So I'm like, I'm not surprised whatsoever with that. But her trying to actually backpedal this, no, you've been exposed. It's all right. And yeah, I have to agree with you and Wallow. It's just going to be a flash in the pan. So I can't really be concerned over that. But as for Amber and Nick, boy, come on, man. I guess after you apologize to those folks, you back out here on some BS. But you, like, why are you entertaining Amber Rose of all people?
Of all people, I think that's the part that really made me mad, because I'm like, when she had popped out at the RNC 2 years ago, and we didn't really see her anymore after that.
Nope.
And now we seeing her again with Nick Cannon doing this show, talking about a whole bunch of nothing.
No. I know. What I wanted to say about Amber, it's basically, I said in the comment section, she BWC. She black when convenient. Because like one day you're a Cape Verdean, we know where you're from. So you trying to advocate for us, but you advocate for us on one side of your mouth, the other side you speaking that you're not part of us. Like, what are you talking about here? You're only out here because I feel the attention has dried up on you. And conservatives don't slut walk. That's all I have to say.
Right.
But like they said, they always want to take the worst of us or people trying to represent us. They took two tethers, Amber and Nikki. And now,
and I'm glad you brought her up. When's the last time we heard from her? It's been a while. It's been about a month.
Maybe they got her off that cocaine, because she damn sure it was acting like she was on there. You ever heard her recordings? And what I was saying about that, and her doing a voice.
Wait, hold up. Your voice doesn't have enough helium in it. that woman sound like she literally like she puts her mouth on that helium tank every morning before she steps out the room.
And you know how I know she probably on coke? Because that's how Robin Williams came up with Nanu for Mork and Mindy. He was coked up when he did that.
Wow.
You knew that, right?
I didn't know that. Like, I learned something new today. But that show that show predates me too, so
that's why he will never talk about it. That's why he never did that character really again. And people always asked him to do it, and he always felt some way about it because he was coked up when he did that. And that's how Nicki Minaj comes off. But as for Amber, I ain't got nothing else to say about that heifer. I'm gonna just land my plane there.
I appreciate you coming up.
No problem.
All right, shout out to Cosmo. Next up, we got Jonathan. What's going on?
What's going on, man? Man, how many more are there? These black artists who turn bottom, man. It's like everything. It's like everything about them. Either they're really like that, or they're doing it to become relevant again. I mean, I'm on Twitter, and I use the repost button, and it gives you an option to hit repost again, or hit quote if you want to repost it and say something about it. So how is it that Chili accidentally reposting it if it's giving you an option? So it literally shows you that repost or quote. So all she had to do was like use her phone to press back away from it if she knew she didn't mean to do it. But instead, she just posted it anyway. So that tells me that she's not being genuine about it. Now, as for that bald head skank, Amber Rose, I don't even. I don't even think she's even. Is she even half black for one thing?
She is from Cape Verde. That's literally off the coast of Africa. Like that's where her lineage comes from. I think she. I don't know because I think she might have been born there, but then her family migrated here, or either she's from her family's lineage from there, or she might be first generation. But I don't know. But her lineage or her family history is on Cape Verde, which is a very tiny island off of the coast of Africa.
That is crazy. Now, she talking about it's okay not to say it's okay not to say the N word because it'll decrease the violence. How when it will increase the violence? That don't make sense.
Exactly. That's why when she said that, when she said if with the N word, then it could bring violence down. I was like, okay, get out of here, get out. This is why people don't want to hear you talk. No one wants to hear you. No one wants to see you. That's why I said I was mad that Nick Cannon dug her up out of the ditch of irrelevancy and put her right there so she could talk again. Hopefully, we don't have to hear from her if we're lucky for the rest of our lives.
That is, man, I can't tell you how embarrassed, how crazy. Like her whole family should be embarrassed. And the fact that she's like somehow some part black, man, it's like, girl, just go stay on that white side wherever you was born from, and just stay on that side. Don't ever come back. Like seriously, like
Wallow just said she was born in Philly, so she might be first generation. She might be first generation. I forgot she was
okay.
born in Philly. That's how much I don't know about this woman and don't care about her because I forgot that's where she was born. She was born in Philadelphia.
And I don't blame you. And I hope a lot of people from up until this are not like that because man, that city will be in hell if they think like that, crazy chick. Saying that it was decreased violence, girl. What is that? What kind of crap you supposed to be giving you? So let me go ahead and drop down before I end up losing brain cells for trying to figure this out.
All right, appreciate you coming up.
Appreciate you coming up. Thank you.
All right, shout out to Jonathan. Next up, we got. Let's see, who do we got coming up next?
Hey, Auntie.
What's going on, Auntie Mooch, my digital auntie? What's going on? Your mic is muted.
Okay. Look,
okay, I can hear you.
At this point, because I turned this on just for this because I'm in the middle of doing something. Chilli Ben showed her side. She's been a part of how can I say Chilli. As far as her, she's been a part of that. She plays the fence just like how can I say just how some Latinos do. They play the fence when it's convenient for them to be with POCs, okay? So she's been playing that. I think that's why Left Eye and her and that group clashed so much because Left Eye had would stand her ground with certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you say this now and y'all about to try to launch this concert.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said I don't know where at you came in when I was starting to live.
No, I've been listening.
Okay, so when I said this could not have come out at a worse time. Like y'all about to do this concert, which when I saw the lineup for it, I said, "Oh, that's going to be a good concert." I mean, you got some classic acts up there that's going to be up there doing their thing, you know, touring all together as one, probably for the first time ever in their careers. And then this comes out. And that's why I said, in the thumbnail, just stand on it. Don't come out there and say what you said, and then people gonna pull all that stuff up, and it's like that completely contradicts everything you just said.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the part right there that probably pissed people off more than anything.
And as far as Nick Cannon goes, they own him. He had to bend the knee to them. So he has to, in order for him to keep everything and maintain everything that he has to do this.
Yeah.
And
even if he don't mean a word of it.
Yeah. And why are we listening to this whore? Why? Why are we listening to her?
No,
she plays defense too, where she want to jump in and out of different cultures. Stay where you are. The white man don't want your whole ass either.
Like I said, nobody was checking for Amber Rose. I said I thought we left her in 2024 at the RNC, and then you have Nick Cannon dig her up out of, like I said earlier, the ditch of irrelevancy and put her on there so she could run her mouth with the nonsense that she was saying.
Like I said, Nick Cannon is owned by them. He already bent the knee and bent over.
Ooh.
So he all he is a comedian. We don't need his advice for political advice on anything. We don't need none of the wrong people. They give the wrong people the platforms to speak up. We should not be following these entertainers.
And listen, isn't that
they
what Malcolm
do this to the black community?
Isn't
they
this
put
what
these the entertainers, Jay-Z included, that one too. I hope you touch on that because I really want to do a reaction video to that GQ interview. But I just don't have the time right now.
Isn't that what Malcolm told us back in the day? Like, don't be listen to these celebrities. They're gonna put those celebrities out there to make it seem like they are the voice for black people and that they're the leaders and everything like that. He said that back in the day, and it still rings. And look at what's come to fruition.
I think we should make a hashtag saying entertainers are not the speakers for political speaking. They shouldn't be at all. Because they're following them. He's with the elites. I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right, I appreciate you coming up. Shout out to my digital auntie Moochie. Let's see who we got up next. We got Action.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
What's going on?
I'm still learning.
Okay.
Well, it's not a surprise with this person. I mean, most of these black, quote unquote, racial exhibits that were chosen by racist man, racist woman, the white supremacists collectively to be as a buffer to look upon, to be showcased in front of us to believe that, hey, look, their scheme of white supremacy, racism is no longer in existence. Because look, here's Nick Cannon, the multi-million-dollar nigger, so they can put up on front television. Hey, look, Amber Rose over here. You know, you like her, right? You know, she's got the fat ass and the caramel skin. You know, blah blah blah. It's people they put us. They've been making a mockery of us. And I wouldn't attack a Nick Cannon at all. What I would attack is who's supporting him, who's financially backing him. Who is the cookie? Who is the man behind the man behind the man? Because as Mr. Neely Fuller Jr. said, God rest his soul, in the original 1984 code book, these can be racial shadow fighters or racial eight balls. People who are acting in a shadow capacity of racist man and racist woman. And Amber Rose is just what do you say more about Amber Rose?
Nothing.
Other than STD. That's a high class STD HIV patient. That's what she is. A low budget adult film star. Mind you, you say you're not a black person. Well, she's right in saying that. Yeah, she's not a black person. But when the white folks classify her She will be a black person to them. No matter how many tattoos she puts on her head, stamp herself as a, can we say, like farm animals when they get stamped on the backside as property. So I would not get into this mud with them. I would mainly go after the people who are financing him because how is he getting financing to get on to have his own show? Who's backing that? Who's financing him? Who are the advertisers? And what race do they classify themselves as and attack them? Because mind you, in the system of white supremacy racism, no non-white person speaks unless they're approved by whites. Not on no big platforms anyway. I mean, you could. What do you agree or disagree with that statement?
No. Oh no, I agree. There's definitely like people that's that he has like handlers. I would say that.
And most of these black or racial exhibits, most of their managers, most of their people that do it are white people. So who's putting the battery in his bag? Why is he having to say this? We look at it. When he said something about white people who call themselves Jews, he had to go out there and apologize. In the knee.
That's why I said he had to go on the tour.
He had to go on an apology tour. But with this now, all of a sudden, he's like, well, I got some conservative views myself. Well, all black males have conservative views when they can basically sleep with black women like they're sex mats, have multiple children with them, don't marry the women, and don't take care of the women that had your children. Yeah, I'm conservative with my phallus, but I'm not responsible what I do with it. That's him. I mean, for a man who also went to Howard, he went to Howard University. Howard. You didn't go to you didn't go to an MBA. You went to an MBI, excuse me. You went to Howard. And you had Dr. Greg Carr on your show. You've had Dr. Umar Johnson, despite his flaws. You've had many scholars on your show. Scholars, Dr. James Smalls. You had him on your show. To now go do this and lower yourself to a third grade stripper? Brother, when you become conscious, you don't engage in non-conscious things.
Mm-hmm.
You have a code of conduct that you conduct yourself in. And conducting yourself in this niggerism ain't gonna cut it. I'm sorry. All you are is the white man's N-word. And that's how he'll see you, no matter how you try to placate to him, no matter how many times you try to, cobble his nutsack. You are lowlier than him. When they say make America great again, they're not talking about you. They're not talking about we can do this together, we can make America great. Bullshit. They're talking about making America white again. WHIT. So, and for you FBAs out there, don't get us fooled. We're not Americans. We never have been. They will never see us as Americans. Hell, we haven't introduced America. So we can't even be Americans because we don't function as one. So you got a choice to decide. Are you for justice and correctness? Are you for replacing injustice with justice? Or you're about making treaties and back alley deals with those who are the masters of injustice? We got to also hold these people accountable too. They're also a part of the problem with this whole giving disinformation to black people. So on that note, I'll let y'all marinate. And thank you for bringing me on the show. And you have a good day, sir.
All right, let's see. Next up, we got Buzzer Cam. What's going on?
How you doing? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, hi. Yeah, I don't have much to say about this topic. I guess I only say my opinion about a few things. Chilli, it's not surprising to me how her mindset was warped up to be. Remember I heard what this doesn't mean nothing, but remember her show, Chilli with Who Wanted to Date with Chilli years ago on VH1.
Yep.
Yeah,
and all it's clear and evident that she definitely had a type, and it shows. And that was after. I'm not sure that was not too soon after, or maybe it was sometime after. Her and Usher had broke up. After her and Usher had broke up. That was years
Yeah,
after her and Usher. And I think Usher was probably the last black man that woman ever dated. I'm gonna be
yep.
completely honest with you. I think that was like the last black man she ever since then. Chilli was playing in that snow and she snayed in that snow. She practically became Elsa from Frozen.
hmm Yeah, that's what my hair is come out to me because her attitude is keeping coming up some kind of at least point of view of herself. And of course, I think too, her side is a little bit like I said. No, she's have her father is have Arabic or some kind of Indian descent, so she's got that sit on that other than her black side. So it's probably brought her mind some other way. So I know that
Mhm.
has something to do with that. So that's that. And Roger was who she exposed as is probably not no brand because she is then to Matthew Lawrence, one of the Lawrence brothers, something like that. And
Yeah, she's dating the
nothing paying
she's dating
attention
the
after.
she's dating the middle brother, Matthew Lawrence. They've been
Yeah,
dating
the
for a
middle brother.
while. They've been dating for a while now.
Yeah, and I always said, well, don't know how long that gonna last and that way. And how he was born and whatever it is, and of course this was exposed 10 years prior because it was like in a what do you and it was a day pause that spelled it like yeah one whole benefits already for Trump something like that, and that was 10 years ago. It was always exposed 10 years prior. I heard in some other um content creators missing it and get the audio there. I don't know you heard her name called Tabitha speak politics. You see in the streams missed about Chile and it's audio there, so you can check that out later. So Chile's beyond that. I mean, oh wait, so it's not surprising and something like that. And
Mhm.
it's in the middle of this concert or something like that. Oh, this is just bad timing, and how that go affect everybody in this? And now this is exposed, or let's see, exposed how she falling something like that. And she now had without how she didn't know where it was, and especially first of all, like I think that's the difference because when you go to it's happened to me because well, I accidentally like something on only I know on Instagram because I could scroll up or down and accidentally last time that happened. And I'll go back and like, oh no, I just unlock something like that. That's the only thing I could remember that. I see that excuse. But if I was seeing mess about what she donated or something, that was something, no, that's best for me. So I don't believe not how she did not know what she did and post something, especially by Michelle Obama. Uh, okay about her, but of course she's a woman. But what the hell? That's question to me and stuff about like that. Yeah, uh, everything's questionable to her, but pushing for it, it's not gonna bother me. It's yeah, it's her anyway. So who cares? But the bad penny is just yeah, this 12% to me. No, no. And by the way, everybody have fit about it too, including DL and everybody else, and Wally Party, and I'm like, oh please, shut up! I do not want to kill you guys, please and stuff. Her and Nick Cannon and Ryan Bros. Yeah, that's was some of the Nick Cannon Hamlin was true about the Democrat and come from the KKK. That's about yeah. But the rest is lost me. It's especially with Miss Amber. Yeah, yeah, she getting her grip on that side too. Granted, I don't care if she do her money, but that's on her. But yeah, she being problematic before this, so this not surprising me too. None of this didn't bother me, only because it's also what they're doing. Yeah, if a Nick Cannon, yeah, he could decide real likely after what's happened to him years ago. Remember to what happened years ago. So yeah, it is depend why he felt, and he said he had no part size. He's and people say he talked about he's up for Trump. No, he ain't said that. Somebody always put that there like that. So uh, all of them getting their book up on them up point of view and something like that. Never having a fit on there because they on the MAGA side. which to me, I do not care one way or the other. The only thing bother me and put for my back, I don't care. But everybody just having a fit on that. I'm like, please shut up. I hope you heard that before.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, I'm about to go. Okay.
I appreciate you coming up.
Okay, thanks.
All right, let's see. Next up, we got someone that hasn't been up here in a minute. LVZ, what's going on?
What is good, my brother? Good to be with you. How you doing today,
Doing
bro?
good. I can't wait to hear what you wait. Did you speak about this already?
I spoke about it a little bit yesterday, but this like really the first time that I'm gonna bear down on it.
Okay.
Because I got more information on all of the situations. So let's talk about don't go chasing butter biscuits. Just stick to the cornflakes that you always be eating. See, look, y'all, we always knew something was wrong with Chilli Slim. Her lips was too thin. Her lips was too thin. She had them white woman lips, Tori. You can't fool me with white woman lips, man. Look at it. This close up you got right now shows it. She done had some work done because her lips was always really thin. Serious. Her lips. I said, you know what? So she got some white women, some white woman somewhere in her. So it turns out, Rozonda, all lives matter. Once we saw that, we already knew. So to figure out now, but then we find out Salt is cool with it.
I think someone had said. I think I saw someone say that in the chat.
Yeah, I think Salt's a big old Trump supporter too. I think both of them are. So I mean, it really ain't shocking to see that these people are butter biscuit eaters. Really, you know, and the fact that she tried to lie about it though, and
Yeah,
then backtrack.
that's what it was for me. That's why I said on the thumbnail, I said stand on it. I'm like, how people was going to receive it is however they were going to receive it. But when you set up there and basically lie and like you said, backtracked on it, and like people couldn't pull that stuff up, like all those donations that she made, her talking about she not knowing how to repost feature work. I'm like, okay,
Exactly. Exactly.
Like I said, something is not adding. I said something is not adding up with her story.
Right. Look, the internet is forever. You don't get away with that BS. So that's the first thing. Then secondly, man, y'all, come on. We already knew the smart one was T-Bars. The one from the hood was Left Eye, rest in peace. And she was the bougie one. She was the bougie one. We even looked at her. And we knew. We just kind of knew. So now let's go to Nick Cannon. Look, I'm sorry, y'all. A dude with a dozen kids, I don't expect him to be the most astute. A nigga with a dozen kids, he's not the most astute. I don't care how much money you got. 12 kids, that ain't smart. I'm sorry, that ain't smart. Look at people with 12 kids that stay in a relationship, one family with 12 kids. Everybody looks sad. It's always the same. Don't do that. So I looked at Nick Cannon talking about how he was sitting there giggling and smiling. I said, this nigga just trying to have a baby with Amber Rose. That's really what I thought, Tori. I said, watch, this nigga just trying to shoot his shot. He trying to have a baby with Amber Rose. He ain't trying to. That's all he was trying to do.
That's not. Like Amber Rose is not a person you have an intellectual conversation with.
Exactly. He sound like, come on, y'all. We was in our 20s when it was a nigga that used to be around a girl who was cute but a complete airhead and would say some of the dumbest shit in the world. Well, if you're like me and you have a IQ over room temperature, that's a turnoff. But If you a hard up Negro with a whole bunch of kids that's just a horn dog, you go sit there giggling. Yep, you know what? I agree. I agree. I agree.
Mhm.
T-Boss was not the street one. T-Boss was the smart one. The street one was always left out, but who cares? Anyway, think about it. Why was she the one that was with Nas in the damn Belly movie? Because she was the smart one. Anyway, why was the other one with Death Row? Because she was the street one. Anyway, god dang. So back to Nick Cannon, a man who made his living off of buck dancing on Nickelodeon. He ain't had nothing bad to say about that studio man.
Oh, I know what
That
you're talking about. From that documentary. Yeah.
he worked on the same show.
Doesn't Nick Cannon? Doesn't he like have like some ownership in Nickelodeon? I think he does.
Probably do. I always love these little gay comments. So we all voted like now. Nobody ever said we all voted like now, but we also understand a vote for just the open white supremacists and then trying to lie about it. We know where you stand. We know we all don't vote alike. Nobody ever said we did. We just know where you stand when you vote a certain way. We know where you stand. All that old goofy shit, making excuses. Well, you do. I mean, long as you doing what he do to benefit black people. When somebody openly saying they're going to do stuff to harm black people, then come on, man, you sound stupid. You just sound stupid. But anyway, back to Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon, I want you to understand something. I want all black people to understand something. The Confederates and white people started the Ku Klux Klan. It was not a political party. It was just white people. Don't ever get lost in that game. Never get lost in that game.
I don't know I don't know when you came into the chat, but I literally said that when Nick Cannon had said the usual thing about with the Klan and Democratic Party. I said literally all it was white supremacy at the end of the day. I said if you was to take the Republican Party and the Democratic Party and flush all of them out today, like you completely started from scratch and you put other people in there that wasn't in there before, both parties would function way differently than they've been for the last how many years. I said the parties only function the way they do because of the people that's in them and who operate them. I'll give y'all a perfect example, one that's easy to conceive. Look at what they did with the word woke. What was it originally? To be aware, to be awake, to be socially aware. Then they took it and flipped it into God knows what it is now. That's what happens.
Whatever they don't like.
Whatever exactly
whatever
they don't
whatever
like.
they don't like. Whatever they against.
They will take
is woke
and then flip it into whatever. Now it's all over the place.
Yeah, woke is whatever they don't like. It turning woke is men and women's basketball. I was like, huh? Nobody was talking about that. Woke. Oh, you want Hispanics to come in the country, huh? Woke. Yeah, you love gays, huh? That ain't what woke is about. But that's what woke became. So that, and then when we look at Nick, though, man, Nick has sold out plenty of times for money, y'all. He sold out when he used to. The man worked for Donald Sterling. He worked for Donald Sterling and got called out about it one time, and he danced around it. That whole time that scandal shit was happening with Donald Sterling, Nick Cannon was the announcer for the Clippers, getting paid from Donald Sterling. Nick Cannon can work on Fox and not have a problem. It's a lot of signs, y'all. It's a lot of signs. We just don't read it. Janet ain't a Jehovah's Witness. Janet is a Muslim now. Remember, she married that white Arab, and now she's a Muslim Arab. Y'all remember that? Not a Jehovah's Witness no more. But real talk, y'all, we gotta stop caring about these damn people, because these people are no more socially aware than you. And you know how I know? Because y'all still in the neighborhood, not them. They don't know what's going on in the neighborhood. You do. They don't be around black people. You do. Stop listening to them. They are not the barometer. You are, beautiful black people listening.
Was that LBZ? Was that it?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, because I got one more person that wants to come up.
Bet, bro. Oh yeah, and Darius Williams, eat a fat one. Peace, bro.
All right, shout out to LBZ. This is the last person, y'all. So if y'all come across the link in the chat, do not click it. Rama, what's going on?
What's up, man? How you doing, man?
Doing
that dude
good.
was funny, man. He was very funny.
Yeah, that's him. That's his personality. I've known that.
Yeah.
Years
He's
now.
very funny. But I just want to ask a question. Do you think that celebrities like Nick Cannon and Chilli and Amber Rose and Sulfur Sulfur, do you think they're hypnotized by the Trump derangement syndrome?
Well, first off, let me correct you. I do not consider Amber Rose a celebrity in any capacity. At most, at most, she's a public figure, and that's about it. But what was your question again?
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask, do you think like public figures like her or socialites like her or like Amber Rose and Nick Cannon, Chilli, and Sulfur Sulfur, do you think they're hypnotized by the Trump derangement syndrome? Because it ain't just them, it's Nelly and Snoop too. So I just want to point that out there.
I wouldn't say it's from Trump derangement syndrome. I would say it's from money. Anything that's going to get them a bag, or anything that's going to get them paid, or anything that's going to keep their name out there, and whatever the case may be, that's what they're going to go for. But here's the thing: people like what's going on with Chilli, Nick Cannon saying what he's saying, or even Amber Thorne. Like I said, we hadn't seen or heard from Amber.
Amber Thorne. Why you call Amber Thorne?
Because on a rose bush, there's a lot of thorns. You have to get through those thorns to get to that rose. But I'm talking like what I'm saying is that we didn't hear about her for about almost 2 years. And now the next time we hear about her, she's doing this show with Nick Cannon, and she's up there saying white people have every right to say the N-word and all the other stuff that she says right here.
Let them say that to you, Amber Rose.
We probably won't. We probably won't. Listen, she probably wear it as a badge of honor, knowing her. That's why I said I'm shocked that I'm not like the woman doesn't consider herself to be. She doesn't consider herself to be black, but she wants to see. But she sees herself as speaking on the behalf of black. Like, look at how she framed that when she was saying that black people don't need to be like offended or should allow. That wasn't. She didn't say offended. Should allow. Like, when did you start? When did you wave your hand and you were declared as a spokesperson for us and what we want?
Yeah, that's crazy. But you want to know? I'm glad you pointed that out, because it's funny because Jocelyn Rose basically said the same thing you said earlier, that she don't want to be black. And
we knew that. I knew that years ago.
Yeah, and what's crazy about it is that she got mad at her and started swinging at her, start beating her up, because basically she was basically exposing her being the fraud that she was. And she didn't like that. She didn't like Jocelyn calling her out on her BS, basically.
Yeah, but I remember when she had made that pivot. She had made a lot of her. I can't believe she has them, but she made a lot of her fans mad when she had made that grift shift and she lost a lot of support. And I was like, I didn't even know she had that much support, but you know, she was known famously for doing that slut walk. And even when I heard about that back then, I was like, what in the world is a slut walk? And then when I found out she was the one that was at the helm, I said, okay, now it makes sense. This just sounds like something in her wheelhouse. This is something that Amber Rose would do.
Yeah, and what's crazy about it, because she said something negative about black people in that recent clip. Also, I was like, but I'm like, homegirl, you married to you have kids by Wiz Khalifa, and you saying all this stuff about black people as if though you're not black yourself. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's crazy. It's just like, damn, like how much knee bending do you have to do for white supremacy, man? It's crazy though. And it ain't just her. It ain't just her. It's these content creators too, like Chaotic Truth and all these other people. They basically be saying the same thing she says.
They all recycle the same talking points.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But do you have anything else?
Huh?
Do you have anything else?
No, I'm all right, man. Well, it was nice talk to you, Tori, man. It was just hard to get that out there, man. Sorry.
All right. Appreciate you coming up. Peace. All right. That was the last person. Shout out to Ramo and shout out to everybody that came up and spoke. I just wanted to come on here and do this live right here. I knew a lot of people was going to have a lot of opinions about this topic. That's why I'm not surprised there's that many people in this chat. But there will be more midday lives. I mean, I just have to find more other topics to talk about that'll happen. The midday lives will either happen on Tuesday or Thursday, since those are the days that I don't upload videos on the channel. So it's more space on those particular days. But shout out to everyone that came through. Shout out to people that came up. Oh, I didn't even acknowledge this super chat. Shout out to DeMarcus. For the 5, he says, I can understand why Chilli was dating Usher. Look at DT, and he's talking about Trump and Diddy. Yeah, that's a whole nother can of worms right there. But I do appreciate the super chat either way, DeMarcus. But shout out to everyone coming up. Tomorrow is Deep Dive Wednesday, and for the first time ever for Deep Dive Wednesday, both videos tomorrow will be deep dives. Usually I only have one, but I recorded one literally last night and just decided I'm going to throw this one into the mix along with the one I already had scheduled. So y'all will be getting 2 deep dive videos tomorrow, one at 10 and one at 3. With that being said, y'all, we are about to get up out of here. Shout out to everyone that came through. Shout out to everyone that came up and spoke. If you are new to the channel, I'm glad that y'all came through. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. More videos and lives to come. And with that being said, enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe, stay warm, or stay hydrated. And I will talk to you all in the next one. Be safe and be one.